Well, hey, it is Kimberly Lipstick and Fit, and welcome to my channel. One of the things that we've been doing here, because I'm going to be very quick and brief, one of the things that we've been doing here, I've incorporated into my life coaching practice, is helping women over the age of 35, which I'm over the age of 35. 38, I know I don't look it. But one of the things that we're doing in embracing this hypergamous journey is doing hypergamy from a very godly perspective, okay? Incorporating that divine feminine energy that God had already endowed us with and getting back to that perspective within our lives. So, if you've been following, I do about a video once a week or so, or once every 2 weeks, because I have other endeavors I'm really busy with. And so you can go back and check some of those videos. It'll piss some of you all off, but you need to hear it. Okay. So, yeah, go check those out. So before, let me do a little bit of housekeeping. I want to kind of give a prelude into this week's topic. If you all know, I now have my own radio show. It's on 102.6 The Situation. Again, 102.6 The Situation. You can catch me on my podcast, any of the replays and so forth. My radio show is New in the Morning. Disrupting Static is the name of my show with New Zinga in the morning, okay? And so this week on Monday morning, because I come on at 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., all right? And this is the subject matter. Fatties fit for love. The double standard and pecking order of attraction. Because there is one. And a lot of times, one of the things that I've been tackling in my subject matters, all those things that are kind of taboo, you know, it's the stuff that we don't want to admit. We don't want to admit that there's a pecking order, that, look, higher quality men are going to go for higher quality women. And but before I go to the next part, that's not necessarily true for women, which is actually problematic. Okay. And the only way a woman can really aspire to obtain a higher quality man is she's going to have to be high quality. Okay. And that high quality incorporates her body. Physical attraction is just part of the game, ladies. You're just gonna have to own it, all right? Look, we can fight on Monday, all right? So be sure to listen in, call in, whatever, write in emails, you know, I don't care. Okay? So today, what I want to talk to you about is high standards but low means. One of the things a lot of women around me have been dating. They've been dating or getting quick situationships, relationships, sexcapades, and what have you. And they're feeling very liberated. They're feeling, you know, excited. They're having a great time. And I have to admit, for a minute, because I've really taken a step back in my own how would I say, state of affairs in regards to relationships. Now, when it comes to sex, I've made the choice almost 2 years ago to abstain from sex. So sex is just not in what's in my head, but I'm not acting on it. I just don't care to have sexual relations. Well, that's a lie. I do care to have sexual relationships because I am a very sexual being. Yes, I am. And I love sex. I think sex is very beautiful, but sex for me has always been something that's very meaningful, and there's a deeper purpose and underlying purpose in it all. And at this age, at age 38, I just don't care. And I never had, promiscuity has never been my thing. So because of that, I tend to be more in relationships. I don't do the whole pass by type of thing. Not built for it. But at my age, really just can't afford to take any chances. So, you know, celibacy is the way that I go. It's the way that I think a lot of people, men and women, should embrace. Men, if you watch one of my other videos, I was talking about seed retention. A lot of men, I've been watching some men that are doing this thing called seed retention. I like the intention of it, but it's missing some elements. And I believe women, because right now there's a degree of hypersexuality going on that is being which is very destructive within our Western society. Women, especially successful women, women of stature, women of influence, are very sexually explicit and reckless. And we're going to talk about that right now in my topic of high standards but low means. Okay? And I say this, don't fall for the immediate needs of your desires of affection and companionship and sex. So one of the things I believe maybe women don't want to admit to this, I think due to feminism, they believe that they're built like men. They believe that they can have, reckless sex, that they can be sexually expressive and easily detach. That's a lie. In the few times I've been able to detach from a person that I was intimate with, that degree of coldness, I question. And a lot of times it came from a very dark place within my own heart. And so when women can easily do this, sis, you probably need some counseling, because we're not built like men, okay? What sex is for men is not what it is for women. For women, it is more spiritual. It's a more in-depth ritual, okay? Whereas with men, it's a dominance, it's a releasing, it's a power, but there is an exchange of emotions, of spirit, of energy. That's what I'm looking for. But men, do not be deceived, because every time you spill your seed, you weaken who you are. And a lot of you men are spilling your seed recklessly, going up into some very toxic wombs, and you wondering why you can't get nowhere in life and why you still ain't shit, because you're sitting there and you're sticking your dick in whatever, thinking you're the man, but every time you becoming less of a man. Okay, we have beyond biblical stories that can prove this, from Samson to David, you name it. It has, throughout the ages, throughout time. Look at all these great men within sports. What has facilitated their demise? Whether it was Kobe, no, Kobe didn't, but he was close. But look at Tiger Woods, look at all these different men. And it always results back to sex. It always results back to them spilling their seed without purpose. Okay? That is you all's fault. But we're not going to talk about that today. I will get on you all another day. So quickly, I only got a few minutes left. So talking about companionship and the desires of affection, and the desires of sex, women, no matter how independent some of my sisters are and homegirls that I talk to, on my nail, they fall for this. And I noticed every one of them, I always have a no judgment zone, because people got to fall on their ass and figure things out for themselves, right? I noticed these things, and I'm going to ask you these questions, okay? I want you to ask yourself these questions. Do you find yourself compromising your standards? Are you getting banged out in places less than desirable? So I had a homegirl. For one, you're having sex way too quick. If you're having sex within a week of meeting a person, that's problematic. And I'm talking about, I don't care how long you've known them. If you've known them 2 years and then you start dating and you're a week or 2 weeks in and you find yourself having sex, that's a problem, okay? Because you being courted is not the same. It's a different energy. So you need to act like you're just meeting this person. It's just like a friend or a family member that you know for all these years, but then they live for you for about a week or two, and you like, oh, hell no. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with sex. The dynamics change, and so you have to really be careful with that. And so that's number one. One of my homegirls, she was bragging about how she finally got some, right? And I was like, oh, okay. How was it? I could be ratchet too in conversation. I don't agree with it, but hey, she a grown ass woman. And I was like, okay, so where did you have it? Because I knew it wasn't at her place. We'll talk about that another time. I knew it wasn't at her place. And I was like, well, what hotel did he take you to? What, did you go to the Lowe's? Did you go to the W? I mean, I hope it wasn't a telly, like a 6 or something. She was like, no. She was like, well. I was like, well, what? Well, her and this new dude been having nice conjugal visits in a vehicle. So then I asked, well, why not his place? We're going to go ahead and skip along. So you know where I'm going with that. If you find yourself being in, why would you lower your standards? Again, high standards, but low means. In here, you have a high standard, but then you drop them because you're trying to meet your sexual desires or the need for companionship, all right, and affection. And 2, are you resorting to old habits? I had another homegirl she used to smoke. Well, next thing I know, she's back to smoking cigarettes. And I'm like, what? Oh, yeah, well, because he smokes. And so I just started, again, compromising. Okay. She hasn't smoked in I don't know how long, but now she's smoking again. Number 3, being alienated from others. This person, even though this man was introducing her into his circle, he was refusing to go into her circle. So that was a clear indicator that he had already established a particular world, and that he needed her to fit in, because he was actually the one that was codependent, and he hadn't fully, come out of his relationship prior to. So only thing he cared to do was fill in that gap and fill in that hole. Ladies, men get lonely too, and they will come off as, great boyfriends, great lovers or whatever, but really they had you quickly fill in a gap because they've already been codependent in relationships, and so they need you to fulfill that. Do you find yourself becoming indispensable to his needs? I was just watching this girl. She's like, I date these dudes and I go and I'll cook breakfast. I'm like, after the second date, you're cooking breakfast? Look, let me tell you something. Y'all have no business making yourselves indispensable. First of all, men don't like that shit. And if he do, that's a red flag, okay? Men they don't get wife detail and wife duties and those type of giftings. He could take you out to brunch. If you're gonna have sex and be over at his house or whatever, he need to take you out to brunch. I ain't cooking shit, okay? Excuse me, I know God's working on me on my cussing, y'all. Just pray for your girl. But we don't do that, ladies, okay? One of the things, and especially someone like me, I can do a whole teaching on don't cook for a man. Don't. He can get a taste every once in a while, but that's going to be after a certain amount of time. But next thing you know, this one particular person, she's cleaning the house, she's walking the dog, I'm like, and you spent the night, I don't know how many times at his house, and he spent the night over your house once. Is he committing too soon? I think that speaks for itself. Do not entertain that. When a man, I had a dude, he was trash. This dude was garbage. I entertained it for a minute. This was a couple of years back, but he was, no, you my girl. And all these they do the same thing, you all. They're so quick to want to call you their girlfriend and be like, look, we don't need to go through all that. Nah, don't fall for it. A dude that wants to commit too soon is a red flag. It's just like a girl who want to get married. If she meet a dude and be like, oh, I want kids. And you know how they start ghosting them? Yeah, you need to ghost that nigga, because we don't do that, okay? I think I kind of touched on this. Maybe he's the one that's needy. You need to pick that out, peep game on it, if he's moving too fast. And so one of the things I do with women that I coach is I have them draw up their own sacred contract. Carolyn Mize taught me this, in some of her books. And when you have your own sacred contract, a sacred contract is values and customs that you refuse to break. If a person puts you in a situation that you're breaking a number of these things within your sacred contract, you need to dead it, abort mission. I don't care how good the penis is, you shouldn't be getting it anyways. I don't care how good his conversation is, you cannot entertain it, abort mission. So I hope you all, tune into my show on Monday, and I'll talk to you all later.